Okay, so hello everyone. I hope you're doing well. So today I want to show you what I've been doing these days. As you know, the ones that follow me on Game Jolt, I always I have always made games on Game Maker 8.0. But now in this last year, I think um, actually some months ago actually I started trying to learn Godot because I am interested in also making 3D games, not only 2D games, but also work on 3D. So I want to show you a little bit the first projects that I'm making. This is my first 3D project actually, and so this is what I'm doing. This is what I could do, what I was able to do in my first weeks. And I made this following some tutorials on YouTube. Um, this is the result. This is how GODOT looks actually, and this is how my game looks. Um, it's a little bit hard because you have these nodes, uh, and they are different. They are something different than in Game Maker. We don't have these nodes, these ideas of nodes. You have all the objects here, and for instance, you have to. I don't know how it is in English. This is in Portuguese actually, but you can create different instances of different categories, or they are called children. You know, in the program, at least in Portuguese. I don't know in English, but I think you can add a child, and a child. The children, these are like different aspects of an item, of an object that you can control, and you can add to every object. So we in Game Maker we think in terms of objects, but not in Godot. In Godot it's different. You think in nodes, and in each nodes you will add different characteristics, different children, or whatever you call it. Um, so there are some things that are difficult to get to understand when it's the first time you use Godot, and if you come from Game Maker, it's a little bit different. Um, so also when you work on 2D, you only have two variables when thinking about x and y, when you think about horizontal and vertical. But when you are going to use 3D, you can see that you have the y variable, the x variable, and then you have the z variable. I don't know if the correct pronunciation is z or z. I think it's z. So you have three variables here. It's more complex if you're going to program more complex things. I think the programs your programming will be much more complex. I don't know. I haven't thought about this very much because, as I told you, I followed a tutorial to do this, to make this, and so it wasn't very hard. But because I was following the tutorial actually, and so I think it's a really a great tool to make things, to make games. It takes some time to understand, to learn, but so far it was okay. I'm going to show you the game. Something good that it has is that you have different I don't know what we call this, scenes. So you can, every object, every room, every level, you can save them in different scenes, and then you connect them. They are like different parts of the game, of the program you make, that you can connect them later. For example, this is the spatial scene, but I made a scene that is called menu here. So it's the first scene. So I made this and I connected this. When you click here on play, it goes to the spatial scene. So you play the game. When you finish this, if you lose, you go to the game over scene. And if you click here OK, you go back to the menu, and then you can play the game, and you can duplicate this scene. For example, if you want to make another level, you can just save this. You can save this as a different scene. For example, you can write level 2, and then you can modify the scene, and you have a new level. This is what I did. So this is pretty cool. We don't have rooms as in Game Maker. We have scenes, and you can save all your objects in different scenes. So you will have the scenes that you will modify, and if you use these scenes in, for example, these object scenes, if you use them in your games, they will modify in every room, in every level you have. Or so if you don't want them to modify themselves automatically when you change something in one of these scenes, what you have to do is just make independent objects here, and then you just duplicate them, and you change the different instances here. For example, here I have different instances. They are not scenes; they are just independent instances that I can modify. And so, well, this is pretty cool. I think so far I'm really having a good time with Godot. It's free. Godot is an open source game engine, and it's free, and it was made by Argentinians. So I really support. I'm an Argentinian too. I really support this project, mainly because it's open source and it's free, and wow, it's really cool. I think, in my opinion, it's a great game engine. And I'm not a professional game maker or something like that to say if it's perfect or not, but I really like this idea of making something open, creating something free, this idea of freedom, and that is amazing. They are not looking for money, but these guys, when you listen to them, they are like really cool nerds, who like making things for other people, not just for themselves and for money. So that's really incredible. And so yeah, it's been all so far. This is what I made. Only one level, but I think it's pretty big. I made different parts here. It's like the concept of this game is like you have to move this ball here and go through the maze, the labyrinth. And I made you have to collect the coins here. You have 5 coins. If you collect them, this stone will just disappear, and you can go to the next level. And in the next part, you have to do the same thing. Then you go to this part. I made 4 different areas so far, and only one level. But I'm planning to make more, to make it bigger, or to make more levels. Something that I didn't like very much is how this program deals with sounds. For example, if you have an instance here, and you want to make this, for example, when this instance disappears, if you want to play a sound at that moment, like destruction sound or something, well, if you have the instance destroy in Game Maker, here is QE something free, Q free or something like that. The instance just destroys itself, and then the sound won't play. So it's like a little bit difficult. And also that I found complicated is how to deal. I don't understand very well so far. It's how you deal with global variables, because it seems that Godot doesn't have global variables as we have in GameMaker. So I need to understand some things like that. For example, the sound, how to work with sound when you're killing an instance, and how to deal with global variables, for example, to count the score or the life of a character of your player. So it's been all at the moment. I'm going to play the game just for you to see a little bit how it looks. Let me just show you. And I'm also going to leave the link in the descriptions so you can check it by yourself. Let's wait. So as you can see, I don't know if it's still recording. I hope it doesn't stop recording, because the computer is a little bit having a hard time. Of course, working with 3D is, you need more power in your. This is the game, the final result so far. You can listen to the sound probably here. So when you're going to work, when you work with 3D, of course, it's much heavier for your computer than working with 2D. So you need a better computer. I have an older computer in which I work on GameMaker 8.0. Oh my god, I almost died. Let's see how it works speaking English, playing a game, and and thinking at the same time. So it's in my other computer. It's an old computer and doesn't need much. I don't need a lot of power to program or make games, 2D games on GameMaker 8.0. It's an old software, and some people say it doesn't make any sense to continue working on this, but I practice, I learn, I enjoy making things on GameMaker, and I can also use this very old software to create things in my older computer. And to make games here on GODOT, I had to use my other computer that is a little bit newer one, but it's the one I use to work for teaching and online lessons and all that. But in this computer, I can make things. I can make stuff on 3D. It's something different. So this is the final result so far. It looks pretty good. You have the shadows, you have all the effects. I think my graphic card is not very powerful, so it doesn't look very well, but probably in other computers it looks much better. That's all. I will make some other videos for you talking about how I continue making games on GODOT, if I learn some more stuff, if I get better, and talking about my journey using the GODOT engine. That is pretty cool. I really recommend all of you. So some people say this game engine is better than the other. This is very old. This is very new. This is, I don't know. And there is like a word. I really think that if you practice, if you're good at making games, if you have creativity and you make good things and you handle the tools, it doesn't matter which platform, which game engine you're using. What it matters, the important thing is that you enjoy what you do, and you learn and you improve, and that you can handle the program and the programming language, and then you get better and better. So that's all. Thank you very much for watching, and I will go to cook lunch. Thank you. Bye bye.